Hello, my name is Sang-Ho Park, 2013 UK Brewers Cup Champion, and I'm here to show you my competition recipe. So first of all, what you need is scale, so that you could exactly weigh the amount of coffee you need and the amount of water that you're going to use. So recipe is very important in coffee for you to be consistent in every brew that you make. With that scale, you can't really make a consistent brew, which means the flavor and the aroma you get from your coffee won't be consistent. So today I'm going to use 30 grams of coffee. It comes from Ethiopia. It's called Suke Kuto, and it's a washed processed coffee. You also want to grind your coffee as you use them. If you pre-ground your coffee will start to oxidize because of the oxygen. So you'll lose a lot of the aromas and the flavors as soon as you grind the coffees. Also, today I'm going to use a V60, so Hario. The good thing about Hario is that because you're using a paper filter, you get really clean cut and you get really pronounced acidity and the fruity tones from the coffee. But one thing you need to remember is that you need to rinse the filter, as white filter paper like this has been bleached. So if you don't rinse your filter and brew your coffee, you're going to get slight papery taste in your coffee, which you don't want. So just a small little rinse on the top just to get rid of the papery taste. And one good thing about rinsing your filter is that also you're warming up your carafe as well. Also for the kettle, I would recommend, if you're using a coffee that has been roasted a little bit dark, I would recommend the temperature of around 85 to 89 degrees. If you're using a coffee that's been lightly roasted from a specialty coffee roaster, I would recommend using temperature between 92 to 95 degrees. So I'm going to use a temperature of 93 degrees today. So I'm going to put my coffee in. So in my competition, which was held in Melbourne, I used a Colombian coffee, and the way I extracted the coffee is as following. So what you want to do when you are brewing your coffee, you want to bloom. You're calling a blooming process, where you add twice the amount of water compared to your brown coffee. So I've added 30 grams of coffee, so I'm going to add 60 grams of water. So as soon as I put my water in, I'm going to start my timer. So I'm going to put in 60 grams. And then I'm just going to wait 30 seconds. So the reason why you want to bloom is that in fresh coffee you still have a lot of carbon dioxide trapped within the cells of the roasted coffee. If you don't let the carbon dioxide escape, it will interrupt your extraction, because when you extract coffee, water is moving into the cells of the roasted coffee and then extracting the soluble compounds from roasted coffee. But if carbon dioxide is trying to get out and the water is trying to get in, it will disrupt water trying to get into your cells of the green roasted coffee. So you want to give some time for the gases to escape, and once 30 seconds is done, what I do is I slowly pour my water to 150 grams. So total amount of water I'm going to use today is 500 grams. So 30 grams of ground coffee and 500 grams of brewed water, hot water. So that recipe is around 1 to 15 brew ratio. Once I added my 150 grams, I'm going to slowly, again, what I do is just a slow center pour. The reason I'm doing a slow center pour is that when you see how I add the water, it's nearly at the same rate of water exiting the cone. So you'll see that the level of water inside the slurry of the V60 remains the same. Why I'm doing that is to maintain the temperature of the slurry as the water is in contact with the ground coffee. I believe, there isn't an answer to how you should brew coffee. But the reason why I'm doing this is because if you don't have a stable temperature within your brew slurry, If the temperature fluctuates too much, the flavor and the aroma that you get from the coffee will disappear really quickly as the coffee cools. If your temperature, which you can see as energy, is consistent within the brew slurry, you'll find that you are extracting the coffee more evenly, and you are extracting a lot of the sweetness and the body that you'd normally not get if you pause and pour and pause and pour. So I added 500 grams, and at the end, you just want a little stir just 3 times, just to mix up all the ground coffee again, and you have an even extraction. You're aiming for around 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and you'll notice that as you brew less coffee, for example 15 grams of coffee to 250 grams of water, your brew time will be more shorter as well. So at the end of the brew, what you want to see is that you want a flat bed at the end. You don't want any bumpy or uneven surface within the slurry. It shows you that you have extracted the coffees evenly, and in the cup you'll have very nice, pronounced, nuanced flavors, and the aroma should be very, very sweet and very clean. So that's done. And here you have nice Ethiopian coffee. Hello, my name is Sang-Ho Park, and you are watching Schmick TV.